Hello doctors, Shawnsteel. We're talking about the 50 PI rules of steel. These are immutable rules that be good for the next 10,000 years when you're ever thinking about doing and working on a personal injury case. So we say that tongue in cheek, but these are rules that have been effective, and these are designed to help doctors of chiropractic when they're engaged in a personal injury case, almost in any state in the union. So what we want to talk about is a short one today. This is a pro tip about duration of care, 2 minutes at the most. Our videos are short. We keep it short to the point, subject focused, not a lot of self-aggrandizement. Let's talk about duration of care. Every time you meet that brand new PI patient, it's the most valuable opportunity you have to influence the behavior of that patient, gain their trust so they can follow your suggestions, become great patients and long-term patients long after the PI accident is over. My view is that patients that really like your work have a kind of a moral duty to refer their friends and their relatives to you, particularly on PI cases, because that's one of the most challenging moments of their life. Now, duration of care is important, and we just want to talk common sense here. If you treat a patient in a bad trauma case for 1 month, from an insurance company point of view, it's a nothing burger. Patient really didn't get hurt, no matter what the symptoms were, no matter what the pain scales were. If you miraculously got a patient from an 8 out of 10 with a low back injury down to a 1 out of 10 in 30 days, you're either probably a great doctor or very bad exaggerated pain scale or an exaggerated diagnosis. But no matter what, and no matter how you look at it, and maybe the patient's a world-class athlete, maybe they have supernatural healing, but it's a small case and it will not provide you or the patient much relief from the insurance company. So that's a fact of life. Let's flip it the other way. We have another moderate to severe accident case, but you treat the patient 1.5 years, and the patient loves you, and they make it a habit, and they show up, and they're regular, and they're in pain, and then when you're finished with them 1.5 years later, they're grateful that you took care of them. That's bad too. When it's too long, the duration is too long, you lose credibility. There's just too many other doctors, too many other chiropractors simply say 1.5 years, low back injury. What did you do? What did you change? It turns out that the longer you treat the patient, the greater is the burden you have to prove that your technique is working. Let me tell you, if you're treating a patient for the same injury and they're still an 8 out of 10, 6 months, it's not the patient's got a problem. It might be the doctor has a problem. And that's how the insurance companies, the juries, lawyers, experts, and the folks that teach at chiropractic colleges look at it. So what's the magic time? There is no magic time. It depends on every individual. You get an elderly person in a big fat accident, frankly, they could have pain for the rest of their life, but you don't get to treat them for the rest of their life. You get them as reasonably close to a 0 out of 10 as possible. And let's face it, you got a patient that's been treating with you for 4 months and they came into your office 6 out of 10. They're still a 6 out of 10 4 months later. Something must change. Either you change your technique, probably refer them to another colleague, probably refer them to another kind of healthcare provider. Absolutely get those MRIs done if it's called for, because the patient's not getting any better and they're still in pain. Absolutely get a medical opinion from somebody you trust who's pro chiropractic. So what I want you to think about is duration of care. If it's 3 or 4 months, insurance companies don't think it's much of a deal. If it's 6 to 8 months, sounds kind of serious. If it's over 8 or 9 months, it could be an exaggerated care syndrome where you get the patient kind of addicted to care. They're not getting any better, except they're getting much bigger bills. Those cases are challenged vigorously by insurance companies, and they just don't want to pay them. They just say it's too much care, patient's not improving, quality of life is not improving. So those are some of the burdens. We talk about duration of care. It's a huge variable that insurance companies look at first when they look at the case. They look at how big your bill is. They look at what your average daily fee is for that bill. They look to see how many visits the patient's had, and they look to see how long the patient is treated. So this is about duration of care. We just got to be reasonable, and we got to give necessary care. Any questions? Email me, shawnsteel@shawnsteel.com. I've had that for 20 years. I'm not changing it now. Secondly, we got a lot more information on our website, shawnsteel.com. Lots of information, free forms, newsletters that we do just for chiropractors. We'd love to have you as a free subscriber. And for the purpose of today, become a YouTube subscriber. We got more good stuff coming out. I got a great colleague, partner, my buddy Alex Eisner. He does very good quality work. It's very popular in the chiropractic colleges. So look forward to seeing you again. Doctors, take care.